time.
Q&A time.
Q&A time. No, it's time to go morning time.
Hello, Lifers. It's Jason Love with Jason Love's Life, and today is our sit-down Sundays. Leah loves that joke. Do you have anything to add?
I never have anything to add.
Today's the day we do question and answers that if you have a question for next week, put it in the comments for this week, and that would make my life a lot easier. Just put them down there, and then next week we'll answer them via YouTube. So the question, I just wanted to talk about potty training just real quick. You want to talk about that?
Well, when is it going to happen for you?
Well, as soon as...
I'm really tired of cleaning up your messes.
Yeah, I got to keep those depends people in business. So, so do you want to talk about potty training week? I don't know that much about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, we're supposed to keep him pumped full of salty foods, so he'll keep drinking the juices, and so he'll want to go pee, and he's got to stay in the bathroom almost the entire day or the entire week. Yeah, it's going to be really... So
this week we're doing putting a lot of energy into getting Frumpkin potty trained. So we're doing all those things and working with the ABA therapist to keep him. And I think that's a standard. I've heard of that outside of autistic children, that this is a common... We tried potty training Frumpkin early on, and we never got to this part because he never really did the part that he's doing now, where we could never get him to really sit on there on the toilet.
He doesn't care to. He doesn't mind if he wets himself.
Yeah, but now he's to the point where he will pee on the potty occasionally, and he gets a treat. Right now he goes, especially when ABA, it's more consistent when ABA people are here, but it's...
he has no interest in it outside of kind of making him with a timer. Yeah,
and we can do it occasionally. I don't think it's necessarily something a parent couldn't do. It's just partially easier for us because we have someone else doing it. Mm-hmm. And so Frumpkin's more about routines. There's a story that we tell to keep him on the potty.
They made him a story.
Yeah, that actually worked better than I thought it would. I assumed it was going to have no effect, but he actually seems to like it. It's a little bit of a pain. We'll talk more about that another time. We just want to tell you, I'll try to get some video on that during potty training week. Is there anything else you said? They're eating salty foods, keeping full
tomorrow I'm supposed to dress him in only a long t-shirt. No diapers or underwear.
Okay.
So he's supposed to be able to feel when he gets wet on himself.
So he'll be wearing, what will he be wearing? Just a shirt?
Just a long shirt.
And nothing underneath?
And nothing under. No,
okay.
Nothing at all.
That'll be interesting.
And I have paper towels on hand.
Yeah, little wipes, I guess, baby wipes. You should have got some bleach wipes, would have been nice, but...
It's not too late.
Yeah.
I'll get some. She said that. She recommended getting some, antibacterial or
so
something like that.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'll have to consider that. So, that should be exciting. First question is related to his echolalia. We did a video or two, actually I think we did 2 this week on his echolalia. How much of Frumpkin's speech is echolalia or scripting?
The last thing he says.
I think most of what he says is like a form of script. Because he'll say things that doesn't actually make sense. So like he'll say no later. It doesn't actually make sense within the context. I'm trying to think of a good example. It was a time to go potty, actually. He'll do that. He'll be like, no, potty later. Or he'll say, do you want to pet that dog? No, pet that dog later. And he'll just use that same exact line.
Yeah, for everything.
Right now he's doing it. It's driving me crazy. He'll go, shh. If he doesn't want something. So instead of saying no, which I don't mind the later.
If we say something he doesn't want to hear, shh.
Yeah, so if it's like, hey, let's...
Time to eat dinner. Shh. Yeah. Time to go to the bathroom. Shh. Pajama time. Shh. Did you poop in your diaper? Shh.
That one's me, actually.
That is the smell.
So, I don't know if that's technically scripting. I believe it. In some ways it would be, or echolalia. I don't know exactly.
I don't think that's scripting. The Caillou stuff is the scripting stuff.
Okay, because he's using something that he learned, that he heard someone else do, and he's using it because he'll do that too with. He would say, when he'd do the okay later, or he'd say later okay, he'd always say okay, and that's something where he learned it from somebody, and then it's part of that phrase. So, and I do that too sometimes because I try to confirm that he hears me, so I'll say.
Yeah, but that's everything they say. She said something today too.
Pumpkin. I think Pumpkin though, because she said something today too.
She
I
said,
think
"Hey."
I think she's picking up some of his.
I think his thing is normal. That's normal.
Her picking it up.
Saying okay.
Oh, maybe. I think it's
and shushing us.
Yeah, I don't think in the same way though, because he uses them as
avoiding and using real words with a shush.
Yeah, he's using them. So instead of like learning the proper words to use, he's using that as like a catch-all for that. Like, I don't want to do this, so I just say this thing. That's how it feels to me because he uses it so often. I mean, it's probably 10 times an hour.
Yeah, he does it a lot.
You know, so, and he has other ones, and those are just the ones that annoy me the most. So I remember them, especially the shushing thing now, which is brand new. Like just a few. It seems like it's just been a few days, but I guess it depends. I'm not sure exactly the definition of that, but I hope that explains. In his play, it's hard to tell as well because like he'll say stuff, and I think he'll like. Recently, the last video with Echolalia, like, he talked about apple pie, and I think in a Caillou video they did apple pie. So sometimes he'll do like straight up Echolalia or scripting where he's using the actual words. You know, I can't find Rosie, but then other times I can't tell if he's actually deviating from it, but is using that environment as his play. So him talking about apple pie, I can't tell if those are actual words from the show, or if he's just thinking about the show and then making his own dialogue from it, which is a little more. I mean, I kind of remember doing that.
I suppose we'd have to watch the show.
Yeah.
As much as he does, which I don't want to do.
Yeah, I have seen the few, and so every once in a while I'm like, oh, that's from that, like the car wash one. He hasn't been doing car wash as much.
Oh, all the time.
He still does it all the time.
All the time.
Okay.
Everything's about car washes.
Because I just haven't noticed it, but I haven't been with him as much the last week. Because it used to be, if we went through the walk through the woods, like the way to get him to walk through the woods is say, let's go walk through the car wash. So he
said that too when we took him. I took him, and Miss
park?
Brooke took him for a walk at the park. He's like, car wash.
Yeah. Okay, so he's still doing that.
Yeah.
So car wash is something specifically from the show, but he kind of puts it into all of his environments. Or castles, because he liked Castlevania. Stuff like that. So, which I think that's a little more normal, because I remember when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'd pretend I was Turtles or Power Rangers, like all that, like it's just it comes out differently, and so, but it's mixed with scripting, so it gets confusing for us. When did Frumpkin start to talk?
A little bit later. Actually, he was kind of normal.
Yeah, I went back and looked at some old videos from when Frumpkin was young. We had done some random videos, and I know he was saying "dada" without knowing what it meant around 1.5 years, and that's pretty typical. But
then he'd move on. He'd stop using it.
Well, yeah, Dada and Mama. I'm trying to think of. I know we talked about regression before.
He didn't say my name for the longest time. It's only until recently he's actually said Mama.
Well, within the last few years.
Last year.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think he was saying Mama when he got evaluated?
No, he would never call me Mama.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember. He, and it's one of those things where when I gave the recommendation of recording your child in another video, that's the reason why. It's because I did do occasional videos and post them on YouTube. I don't necessarily think you have to put it on YouTube. The hard part is, the nice thing about YouTube is you can make them private, and then you have a date stamped, and you have it on, you can look up the date on videos anyways, but you don't have to like keep it on somewhere. You can just, it's easy to find.
Having a record. Yeah,
and I wish we had done more. I know some specific ones when he was around year, because we did the cow one where what does the cow's butt say? Yeah, so he wasn't talking then, 1.5 years. So it is nice to have those. And then 2, you can see if there is regression or things like that. I actually had wished that we had recorded more of his like the things that he does now. It'd be interesting to record him doing the shush and some of those over and over ones. I think in the moment it feels like this is going to be forever, so you forget. Like, I can't remember all of them now because he changes.
Yeah, he does change, but I really don't want to remember the shush. I think that's the most annoying thing.
Right. But I meant, like, because we did, and I know I have recording somewhere of him doing, how are you? Okay, how are you? Okay, how are you?
That was cute.
Yeah, so, like, those are interesting because it's like, oh, yeah, I remember when he did that as a repetitive behavior. But when you're in the moment, you're like, I just want him to stop doing these things. Although that one was, like you said, that one was cute and fun. He started talking normal time. I know that the person asking the question, their child's 2 and they're not saying anything. And I think I would recommend doing what we did, even though Frumpkin was on track. He ended up getting behind at a certain point. and we just contact your local. First call would be to school district and just see if there's any programs or can get
It was actually his doctor.
Well, what do you mean his doctor?
The doctor suggested it.
Right, his doctor suggested it, but you don't necessarily need that suggestion. If you already know it, I would recommend to you, you can talk to your doctor as well, which is good.
I would recommend you ask your doctor if you think it's a good idea.
Okay. Yeah, it depends too on how easy access you have it. For us, it was, I guess the doctor suggested it. I don't remember that part because I probably wasn't there.
Because I was there.
Yeah. And so, and then I was talking to the school district. I mean, it doesn't hurt to talk to the school district. It depends on how long it takes you to get into the doctor too, because I know sometimes things take forever to get. Because the school thing took forever too.
Yeah, it takes time.
Everything takes time. It's annoying. So, hope that helps. Definitely, I would definitely do something. So, talk to your doctor, your pediatrician, and school district. Someone was talking about, so there was sort of a question / comment on ABA around the fact that they teach, she's new to ABA, and they're teaching her daughter things that she already knows, and she found that slightly annoying, and that was kind of curious our thoughts on that.
Well, I would just want to make sure, like, you know your daughter knows these things, but they may not. And, they'll catch up to your daughter eventually and start talking about things. Oh, that was the point of that. They wanted him to be comfortable with them by going over things that he already knew until they developed a rapport, and then they would move on to more complicated things so they could, have that relationship of, easy bonding first. That's why they did that to him.
And what is Katie? She's whatever the head person.
She's a supervisor.
The supervisor kind of warned us.
She's
early
under
on.
the doctor.
Yeah, she's not the psychologist, and she's not the behavior analyst. She's but she warned us. She said that they're going to start super easy, and that we will notice that it's stuff that he should know. And I guess just saying already what Leah said, it was to get him comfortable with the process and changing how it all worked, and then also to measure where he is. So
yeah, I did say that.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other reasons why. I think in the video it looked like he was familiar with the stuff because he I believe he learned all that from ABA. He just picked on quick. My understanding, and I'd have to ask, is they have to do it. They do it so many times, and he still actually has issues with it. So it looked like he was super good at it. It was categorizing. So they'll say strawberry, banana. Actually, yeah, we'll just do that. And it could either be fruit or food. And so he didn't really do that in school, even though that sounds like something he would do in school. They don't do that in pre-kindergarten. So he did learn that through them, and they try to make it harder, but then also they do it repetitively. So he does have, I think they were surprised that he got fork, spoon, knife as utensils. He
would say utensils and words like appliance.
Yeah.
Go to a stove and go appliance.
And that's the other part that I wanted to talk about was it's not straight up speech therapy. It's not like, I don't know what actually, if that you include, but he is learning. I do feel like he is making progress with his speech partially because of those. If it was super hard, I think it would be more stressful, and he'd have a harder time learning those skills that aren't necessarily looking like he's learning. So, like, his communication skills. And that was another video that we posted. I think it was the same one, but I can't remember. Where him and his ABA technician, you watched their interaction, and it was almost like a different kid because they were, she would ask him a question, he'd answer properly, and then they were pretending, and so she was saying she was making cinnamon rolls, and then she asked what he was making, and he said green beans, and it was just like, when you watch it, you think, whoa, that's amazing when you compare it to some of his other stuff, and so that those are the kinds of things I feel that is underlying that they're working on, where it seems like it's super easy, but they're building that communication skills and other transitional skills and stuff like that. All right, so this one, their child's kicked out of summer school, or might be getting kicked out of summer school, and just want to know our thoughts. Just kind of basically
I need more information. Why?
They just said that they can't handle him. She says he's not violent. He just doesn't properly listen. And then someone else talked about that mentioned it with daycare. With daycare, I don't think there's much you can do. I would recommend trying to find a daycare that says they can deal with it. But we actually recommendation with daycare was what kind of helped with us because Frumpkin got kicked out of the Y a lot.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Yeah, but I don't know. It wasn't.
For us, just having the ABA therapist there, so getting ABA.
Yeah, when they were there, that's different completely. But sometimes when they wouldn't listen, they'd come and get me. Yeah.
Right, but so that would be my recommendation, maybe for or at least look into for daycare is to say, okay, can we get a you know, are you is your child diagnosed, and then will your insurance or Medicaid or whatever you need to use, does that cover ABA, which you should I would recommend anyways. It's not for everyone, but I'd recommend trying it, and then that would allow your ABA therapist technician to be there. And I also think a little bit with daycare they'll put up with a little more because there's somebody else there.
Well, I had to get permission, remember?
Right.
Special permission. Luckily, the woman who's in charge of the daycare at the Y said, "Oh yeah, I've worked with Weep before." Okay. What were you saying?
Well, my point was, I think if you're just because there's another person, it makes it easier, even if the child has the exact same behaviors.
Yeah.
Just because you have and it's a little bit more like the fact that there's somebody there, they're not going to come get you because it's like now they kind of have that responsibility.
Yeah, that's true. They took over the responsibility.
And so.
Except for during breaks, because you still gotta have breaks.
Yeah, actually, I have no clue how it runs during YMCA.
I never stayed to watch either, but
I don't know if they have breaks.
I only ever see them writing in their books about what happened.
Well, because she told me, one who does the Y, she says she actually stays hands off most of the time, so maybe they don't do breaks, and she only comes forward when.
When he needs help, like sharing.
Yeah, or if she wants to, like, if she sees an opportunity for him to play with somebody, her kind of like to coax him a little bit to like, oh, why don't you play that with, But I think they're mostly hands off, so they probably don't take breaks like normal.
Okay, that's good.
Because we don't do that at the park. They don't really take a. Like,
that's
a break.
True. There's no structure. It's not program to program to program.
Right.
Like at home.
Right. And so with school, I was talking about maybe. And I put this in the comment, maybe trying to contact, the people with Americans with Disability Act.
ADA? Yeah,
and just kind of see, because I don't know if schools are required to provide. It's one of those things that it's really a legal issue at a certain point. I don't know, again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know, but they would at least be able to tell you, because if they would be the ones who would, if you were having, they'd be somebody you would contact if, like, your child was being discriminated at in school for his disability. I would think they would be the ones to contact.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they would at least be able to point you to the right direction, and if not, I would contact the school district.
Did you ever go on to the webpage? Because I've been to the webpage.
Yeah, I've been to the webpage.
Okay.
I would contact them, but I don't know where to go on the webpage.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Nothing.
You just don't like their webpage?
No, just go along with that.
You wouldn't contact? Because you've contacted them.
I needed them.
Yeah. Did somebody answer your call?
No, like my questions were really obscure and they didn't have a lot of answers for me.
Okay.
I don't know about autism.
Yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, I would look for a local. Another thing would be to find some local organization that deals with autism, and see if they have any help. It's really hard because it's so different from state to state and county to county. So the last question is, at what age did we notice Frumpkin's sensory issues, specifically with noises? Or at least that was the example.
Frumpkin?
Yeah.
He doesn't, what?
That was just a question. He doesn't really have an issue with noises, although he did, I think, a normal amount. I don't know if you remember, but the first time we took him to the 4th of July parade.
That's because fire engines are loud.
Right. So he does have sensory issues in the sense of, like, water on his face. Like if his face gets wet, he gets upset.
Yeah, they both have that. They don't like getting wet at all.
But they'll take baths, and
But if the water gets on their face. Yeah,
it's sort of a strange where.
If it's where they think it's not supposed to be, they get a little upset.
Yeah. And that I didn't notice until, I don't know, when did you notice it?
I don't notice his issue so much as hers. She walks around with her hands over her ears.
Well, and that's something, but I meant with
at
the
face. The face. I don't really think.
Sorry, the phone actually they record on stopped working. We didn't realize it, so we kept going, and Leah had to go to bed. So with his sensory issues around the water, I would say maybe around 2.5. It's kind of a guess. It's one of those things too where you don't really pick up at first, especially you don't. So if he gets wet in his face, he'll go towel, 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 and just ask for a towel, where it really bothers him. So it, yeah, if he gets, I think Leah described it best, where they think they're not supposed to get wet. Sometimes even when they're playing in the water, maybe in the eyes, then they want a towel, and they realize that their face is wet. I don't know. I'm a little bit guessing on what's going through their heads, but again, it'd be around. I think it was around 2.5. And Pumpkin does it now, but I think she a little bit got it maybe from Pumpkin. And so maybe it was younger. Maybe she was Pumpkin's, because Pumpkin started doing it around 1.5 or so. No, probably around 2. Sorry, it's so confusing because it's like 6 months is not really that much time, but for her, it's it's this in baby time, in baby months, it's a long time. So, and then we had one more thing where Hannah asked about if Pumpkin had noise canceling headphones. He does not have noise canceling headphones. Pumpkin has headphones. And we should, or I don't know what you call them, ear protection. We should probably get something for Frumpkin for parades and stuff. He doesn't really have a sensory issue with noises. It was just extremely loud. I mean, any child is going to have issues when it's that. We have sirens blaring, so we should probably still get him some for stuff like that. Thanks again for watching. Remember, leave your comments in the leave your questions in the comments below, and me and Leah will answer them next week. We had a few that we missed just because of time restraints, so we're going to consider doing 2 of these. If you think that would be, if you really like these and would watch 2, I guess, a week, put that in the comments. Just let us know what you think. If these are the types of videos that you'd like. Also, if you'd like them, we also considered making them shorter, so doing several and then shorten them. So let us know about that as well, because, I mean, that's just editing, and then you could watch the videos on your specific questions. So we're trying to figure this all out. What do you like? That's what we want to know. And then while you're thinking about it, go ahead and like this video. Questions in the comments, or just leave a comment down there. That's good. Your thoughts about these questions and answers. And I will see you tomorrow.
I'm not going to force any enthusiasm.